Joseph imprisoned. Joseph imprisoned. Reading from the book of Genesis chapter 39 verse 19 to 20, the Bible reads, "When his master heard the story, his wife told him, saying, 'This is how your slave treated me.' He burned with anger. Joseph's master took him and put him in prison, the place where the king's prisoners were confined." Joseph was imprisoned. After being hated by his brothers, thrown in a pit with the attempt of killing him, then he was sold as a slave in Egypt. And after God started prospering him, the wife of his master lied and said, "This boy wanted to rape me." And the Bible tells us that Joseph was thrown in prison. He was thrown in prison without even knowing when he was going to get out of prison. He was thrown in prison without having anyone to help him, because the person who threw him in prison was the person whom he knew, the person who was most influential, the person who owned his life. Joseph was imprisoned as a slave. You know, sometimes we go through many challenging things in life. Things that are hard and tough, that we cannot go out. Sometimes this could be false accusation. This could be sickness. This could be imprisonment. This could be whatever challenge that you and I could go through that would be painful and break our hearts. And in those moments, we would be tempted to give up and say, life is not worth it. Let me just give up. But I encourage you not to give up. I encourage you to hold on. I want you to understand that even though Joseph was thrown in prison, God was still in control. God was still leading him towards his destiny. You know, in the natural mind, it did not seem like Joseph was going towards his dream, but God had it figured out. And right in prison, he met with the right people that introduced him to Pharaoh. I encourage you to hold on, because those challenges that you are going through might be leading you right to your destiny, right to the promise that God has for you. And because of that reason, hold on and do not give up. You know, when Joseph was imprisoned, he understood that even though he was imprisoned, even though he did not have all the luxuries that he wanted to have in life, he understood that life was an opportunity to love, to serve, to honor God and mankind. Joseph understood that even though he was wrongfully imprisoned, God had given him a great opportunity in prison to save others, and he lived to save other people in prison. Life is not about me. Life is not all about you. It's about the people that God has placed around you and how you will use that opportunity to bless them wherever you are. So focus on that and not on your problems. Joseph used his time in prison to reflect, to learn. You know, when you're going through a difficult time, use it to learn. Use it to reflect. Use your challenges and your failures to learn, so that you become a better person, so that you can become even more skilled, more equipped, and later on become even much more effective in whatever God has called you to be. Use those moments to learn, to sharpen your skills, to become better. And lastly, when you go through a prison-like challenge, seek God more. Use those moments to seek God, to love Him, to know Him better. Seek Him much more than you had sought Him ever in your life. Love the Lord. I encourage you, whatever prison you're going through, God is faithful. God is true. God will not give up on you. Hold on to Him. Seek Him and love Him much more. And He will turn your challenges for good.